on drought in the face of abundance. President Uhuru Kenyatta already has declared drought a national disaster. Be sure to join us on this continuing feature as we cover the drought situation in the country. In studio, I have a philanthropist, politician. He's called Stephen Koriata from Narok County. And it's good, that we begin from the drought situation. But first of all, welcome to KBC.
Thank you very much.
Let's begin with the drought situation in Narok County. Probably you can begin by describing to us how it is looking, probably from the areas of Narok. It has not been mentioned among the most affected, but I'm sure somehow if the short rains fail, Narok will also be on the red line.
True. So actually what I can say, some parts of Narok, they are good, okay? Na kuna pali zingine ambao which are not good.
Okay.
Like Mosiro. Actually the down kutoka Suswa, Mosiro, until you go to a place called Narosora. Actually the drought there, it is that bad. People have started actually now slaughtering animals. So I think it is very bad.
All right.
Yes.
I hear you talk about animals, and there's always this plan by government, and I was asking the cabinet secretary the other day, Eugene Omalo, whether there's a plan, to uptake these animals and probably the meat is sold to KMC. Have you heard of such plans probably from Narok? Because if people have started slaughtering their animals, why then not sell to government through KMC?
Well, KMC, it is ongoing actually at the moment.
Okay.
People are taking their animals, but at times actually the animals might be so many. So, but actually people, they are aware about it. Yes.
I'm sure in such of these things, much of the bigger problem obviously is pasture for the animals, food for the people living in Narok, but also the problem of water, particularly for the animals and even for human consumption.
Yes.
And I understand you've done several water plants in Narok.
Yes.
Where?
We have done actually several of them according to what we can do, according to our ability. We have done actually several down in Narok South, Narok West, to Mefanya kidogo, where we can actually. So we have tried to help the community so that at least we can see whether we can salvage, the animals, because after every 5 years there is a cycle of drought. So we are trying now to tell the community to know about that cycle. So I've done around 5 dams.
Okay.
Yes.
You talk about the cycle will always repeat itself after 5 years.
Yes.
The whole question about water ponds, obviously is not sustainable. As a leader in Narok County, as a philanthropist, as the person who probably is seeking to occupy political office at some point, what is that ultimate solution, the silver bullet towards stabilizing Narok County so that we don't have movement of people and pasture? Every time these 5 years happen when you're saying, there's a cycle of drought.
Now, I will say this, definitely. The last, what can I really put actually? The best solution for that county at the moment, they are boreholes.
Boreholes.
The moment we get, for example, if I become the governor of Narok, the first thing I'm going to do is to have many boreholes as I can.
Many boreholes as you can?
Yes. And then from that, for sure, then we can take water, piping water to so many kilometers. And I believe that will solve a major problem in Narok.
Boreholes is a solution?
Yes.
But I'm wondering...
No. It might not be a solution, but I can say that it can solve, I can say 60 to 70%.
And what is that 60-70% that you intend to solve through boreholes?
The major problem is water in some areas. Okay? In some areas, actually there are rivers. Okay?
Yeah, there are some places that have rivers.
Yes. We need also to pipe that water from the river, for people to be able to irrigate actually their issues One, food, grass, then from that you can see there'll be a lot of changes. So I think that can solve the problem in Narok.
All right.
Yes.
And yet you've served as an administrator in the Narok County government.
Yes, I did.
I'm just thinking, basically, aren't these things that the county government obviously ought to prioritize?
In a government there are many things.
Okay.
Kuna vitu mingi ambao which can overtake or override the others because probably in this ward wanasema wanataka hospitali, in that ward wanasema wanataka maji, and then in Highlands wanataka barabara. So yani kila
it's a balance.
Yes, it's a balance thing. So actually that is what I can say.
All right.
Yeah.
But yet you say when you become governor, your priority will be digging boreholes.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, how then do you balance? You already have a priority in terms of ensuring that Narok is, food secure, it has water for pastoralists there.
Yes.
How then do you balance these things?
I will
with
balance,
your priority?
Yes. I will balance in this formula. Okay? For the first 2 years, we can say that we can put aside some good amount of money, okay, for boreholes. In the third year, we can say that we can prioritize roads. Those are the things that I can say at the moment, and for sure I know we will achieve it.
All right.
Yes.
Having come from the pastoralist community, there's this idea that has been told about a mental shift in terms of ensuring if you're moving towards food security. There's this idea of encouraging pastoral communities to not obsess with livestock, and we start doing farming. And experts say orphan plants farming is probably the ultimate solution to food security in the country. Is that a conversation you would encourage if you were to become an administrator there?
Definitely, yes. Before, personally now I'm a farmer in different categories. I plant wheat, I have animals, you see, so I've seen the benefit. So definitely the moment I take over, I will enroll those kinds of plan so that people can have different kind of system of working to make their daily bread works very well. Yes.
Over the years, because I see from some of the works you've done in philanthropy is digging the water pans, there's bursary to school children, and of course I know about hospitals and bills. Have you been able to identify, other than the point of boreholes, because you said that addresses the water problem in Narok, have you been able to identify other priorities that you would actually, put ahead if you were to become governor?
Yes. In Narok, if people plant wheat, if people plant majani chai, I know those things can change many things in.
Tea can grow in Narok?
Yes. Yes. Very well. At the Mao area.
But on the end of Mao forest?
Yes.
Okay.
You see? Those are the things which can make Narok, a better place. So we have roads. We need to, to establish very good roads. We need in some parts of Narok, like a place called what do you call this place? There is a place called Loita. They need very good facility, roads, hospitals. Actually, that place need to be opened up.
Okay.
You see?
The problem is that it is not opened up.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, go to Mosiro. Mosiro need also to be opened up to a standard whereby the right things can be done. So if I take over, I'm sure I can roll very good plants there, because there are many things. Mosiro is a hot area whereby you can plant many things. Instead of animals, you can shift okay, you can make now what we call rotational farming.
Rotational farming.
Okay.
I've not heard you talk about tourism.
Yes.
Because Narok ranks very highly when it comes to issues of tourism. But there's still a problem of streamlining revenue collection.
Yes.
Particularly from areas like Mara up until today.
Yes. You know, I can't say anything there until when we reach there. You see?
Okay. You can't say anything until you get there.
No, you know, for real, you know, if you're not in that office at the moment, I know if I'll be there, if there is a problem about revenue, I know actually what to do.
Do you know there's a problem about revenue? Or have you been able, I mean, as a person with an ambition,
yes,
have you been able to identify if indeed there's a problem in Mara?
For sure, at the moment, I can't say anything at the moment because I don't think there is so much problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. As we wind up, very quickly, over the years, being you know, having served as a clerk in the defunct municipal, it was the county council,
yes,
as well as, you know, having served as administrator in the Narok county government, and your work with the peoples of Narok, do you think you have the experience, or what experience have you gathered to manage the affairs of Narok County?
I can say few things. I have interacted with the locals.
Okay.
Narok is a place, is a museum of, you know, I can say that Narok is Kenya. So I can work with everybody there. I will give each and every person his own space. So the experience that I have there, I've worked with the local for at least for a while. Okay. Although I have gone around this country actually working in different capacity, but in Narok I've worked for a while, and I know that I can deliver very, very, very well.
All right.
Yes.
And you're confident you can do that.
Yes.
We've been speaking to Stephen Koriata, a philanthropist from Narok County, and obviously, like you've had, the issues of drought, very intentional in places like Narok. It has not been, you know, put as the most affected county because there's just about 10. Obviously, you know, if the short rains fail, there are areas in Narok that will be affected. That's why we end Extra Mile. We are taking a breather. When we come back, Safina Cheng is up next with business.